Hi friends, welcome back to Brilliant Blue Reviews. My name is Heather, and in this video I'm going to be giving you my review of Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. I apologize for the horrible lighting in this video. I am staying tonight in a hotel room with my daughter, and it's late at night and I just can't get good lighting here, so forgive me for the poor lighting quality of this video. I actually went to this movie by myself this afternoon while my daughter was performing in a concert. So this was on a Saturday afternoon, Saturday, December 6th, 2025 is when I saw it. The movie just came out, I think, yesterday, the 5th. It's only exclusive to cinemas for 1 week, I think, and then it's going to come out on Netflix next Friday on December 12th. This is the third movie in the Knives Out mystery, which is now a series. The first movie, Knives Out, my daughter and I saw in the theater, didn't we?
Yes.
Yes. And then the second one, Knives Out, Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, which I think...
That was only out on Netflix.
That was only on Netflix, yeah. It never came out in the theaters. And I've never watched that one. I just haven't been that interested in seeing that one. I'm not as into the cast of who's in that one, and I just really don't care. I was going to this one having not seen that, but as far as I can tell, it did not matter at all that I had not seen Glass Onion when I went to this. There were a good number of people in the movie with me. I'm pretty sure it was rated R, yeah, because there's violence, murder, quite a bit of profanity. This is a dark comedy slash, what? Thriller, yeah, crime thing. Now this one, I thought it was pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, I will give it 4 stars. I really liked it. Like the other two movies, was directed by Rian Johnson. Stars again Daniel Craig as Detective Benoit Blanc. The rest of the cast is really good. Glenn Close, Josh Brolin. This guy, Josh O'Connor, is one of the main characters. Now, I don't think I've ever seen him in anything before this, but he did a really good job. Kerry Washington is in it. Jeremy Renner, which I think this is the first thing
Jeremy Renner?
Yeah, it's the first thing
way.
Yeah, I've seen him and since he got
Hawkeye.
Well, and since he got crushed by the snowplow.
He got crushed by a snowplow?
Yeah, his own snowplow ran him over and crushed him. He almost died. And a bunch of other people. I can't remember everybody right now, but a really good ensemble cast, just like in the first two movies. The premise behind this one is quite different. It's kind of focused on religion and faith, but also what you might call a locked room mystery or an impossible murder. Josh O'Connor plays this Father Judd? Is that his name? He's a younger priest, and he got in trouble at where he was serving in Albany, New York, for punching a deacon. Okay? He lost his temper and punched a deacon in the face. You find out that he had a history of getting in trouble for fighting because he was a boxer when he was a teenager, when he was younger. And so the cardinal, I think it is, at the church where he's serving, or the parish or whatever, says, okay, we're going to give you another chance, and so we're going to send you to this small town, to the church of the, I can't remember, with this other guy, and we want you to work under him. And that's Josh Brolin. So Josh Brolin is Monsignor Wicks, I think is his name, and he insists on going by Monsignor, not Father. And so he's like the junior priest serving under this other older priest. And then the rest of the characters in the movie, basically, except for Benoit Blanc, played by Daniel Craig, who comes in to solve the murder. And then Mila Kunis is she's either the sheriff or the chief of police. And she does a really good job. And she's a good cop. Everybody else is parish member or part of the congregation of this church. The person who dies is Josh Brolin's character, Father or Monsignor Wicks. There doesn't seem to be any way he could have gotten murdered, but he was very clearly murdered because he was literally stabbed in the back. He falls down within view of Father Judd. So he actually sees him fall down and he dies. It's very strange. And through the course of the movie, you learn a little bit more about each of the other characters, and you kind of start to see that almost everybody, if not everyone, had a reason for wanting this priest dead. He's really quite an awful person. He's not only not a good priest, like he's kind of leading his congregation astray, but he's also just like a terrible human being. I enjoyed the mystery part of this movie. It was almost 2.5 hours long. It was a good length movie, but it did not feel long at all. The only reason I realized it had been that long is when it ended and I looked at my watch and I needed to go pick up my daughter and I was like, oh, it's later than I thought it was. Otherwise, it went by very quickly and it constantly kept you engaged. And so much stuff happens and so many, I don't know if you'd call them twists, but just things constantly being revealed that were very interesting, that kept it, you know, kind of fast moving thing. I mean, you're in this little sleepy countryside small town and it's a Catholic church and you're thinking like, how interesting is this going to be? Well, it turns out it's very interesting. There's a whole lot of stuff that's revealed about these people and their relationships with the priest and the church and everything and each other and things like that. And it's quite interesting. And so as the movie goes along, things are gradually revealed to you about each of the characters that are very interesting. And then a couple of like kind of intense, almost like action-y parts happen too. And it ends up 4 people actually end up dead. Total.
What?
Yeah.
4?
4 by the end of the movie. Like while they're investigating the murder of the priest, 3 other people end up dead. So it's really quite a lot going on. I liked a few things about it. I liked the mystery part and just the plot of the whole mystery story was very interesting. The acting was very, very good. There was a lot of humor. Like there was quite a few moments where I actually like chuckled to myself because something happened or something was said that was actually very funny. And then in this particular one, there was this whole added element of like spirituality and faith. The younger priest, who's kind of the main character that's kind of working with Detective Blanc, trying to figure out what happened, he's kind of struggling with his purpose and what's his whole reason for doing this and should he still be a priest and why is he a priest. They talk about like both him and Detective Blanc have like road to Damascus moments, which if you're familiar with the story of how Saul became Paul when he went blind and the scales were removed from his eyes and all that and in the Bible, in the New Testament. So they talk about that a couple different times about how they have these moments where something is revealed to them and their eyes are opened. And for Detective Blanc, you think like he's having some kind of spiritual moment, but it turns out he realizes something that helps him solve the case. Because there's a point in the movie where he straight out says, I don't think I can solve this, because he cannot figure out how it possibly could have happened. And then there's also a couple different times where the younger priest, Father Judd, says he's having kind of a spiritual moment where he feels like something's become clear to him or whatever. And there's several times throughout the movie that you go back and forth thinking, he did it. He's responsible. He killed this person or he killed this person. And they kind of tease you and make you keep thinking that it's him, that it's the younger priest. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But I mean, there's several different times throughout the movie where you think, oh, it's this. And then it turns out, no, it's not that. It's something completely different. And so it was interesting. It had some really good layers to the story and the characters and everything. Now, it did have the setting and like the location of it had a very British feel to me, but it's supposed to take place in upstate New York somewhere. But then I watched, like I always do, to the end of the credits, and it was filmed at Warner Brothers Studios in England, which we've been to. We've toured Warner Brothers Studios, which is where all the Harry Potter movies were filmed and everything. And it was a very, very good tour. I actually, which did you like better? Warner Brothers in Hollywood or Warner Brothers in London? Hollywood used to like better? Yeah.
I feel like I personally got more out of that one because of my personal interest in Hollywood.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And that it has all the Friends stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the Friends stuff. If you're a big fan of Friends, you want to go to the one in Hollywood. Coincidentally, I did think of this. The big announcement today in the news, if you saw, it was just today, was that Netflix is buying Warner Brothers. And I thought that was interesting. That was still in my head. This is a Netflix produced movie. But at the end that I saw that it was filmed on the Warner Brothers lot. So I'm actually wondering if Netflix and Warner Brothers already have a fairly substantial relationship anyway. Just kind of a little aside there for the movie biz. But this was a really good movie. I highly recommend it. I'm going to work very hard now. I'm out of town right now, and I'm going to be out of town for a couple more days. But I'm going to do my best to get this review up to you before the movie is released on Netflix. Because the last couple times I've done that where it was a Netflix film, and I got to see it in the limited release in the theaters first, those videos have done quite well. Like House of Dynamite did quite well, and I managed to get up here to the Twin Cities and see it in a theater before it's released on Netflix. I will always try to do that for you if I can, if I know it's going to have a theatrical release first. So I will do my best to get this edited and get it out to you before it's released on Netflix on Friday, December 12th. I hope you enjoyed this movie review. If you did, or you found it interesting or helpful at all, please be sure to leave me a thumbs up down below. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming movie reviews. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you next time.